Alright, we are on the draw with Rug Delver, and this looks like a pretty nice keep. We're probably going to turn 1 Delver. Turn 2, who knows? Let's see what the opponent's up to. Almost certainly getting an island off of that. Ooh, boy. Okay, so given that the opponent is on the play, technically, if we try to race, all things being equal, we should lose. Because they're a turn ahead of us. Assuming, like, we both have the same caliber of threats, reach, everything else, yada yada yada. Even though that's quite unlikely. Because, for one, they're probably not on Rug. So, I think I'm going to match their Delver with a Delver. We pretty much always want to be aggressive anyways, and I imagine they're on some form of Grixis or blue-red. So I'm going to assume that we can beat them in the short game. Our opponent wants to know if it's a mirror, and we need to know what splash they're playing to figure that out. We saw a mana leak off of them. Bloodstained Mire probably indicates they're on Grixis. We will also blind flip. Question is, we definitely want to attack. I don't know if I want to play this Stomping Ground first. I don't. We'll do that. I believe I want to shock, and then, sorry, the shock isn't super relevant yet. We're going to Serum Visions just because we may as well. We will probably be shocking, though. There's the crack. Sure. Ooh, they shocked. That's interesting. They're mana leaking the visions. We won't. Well, at least the leak's out of their hand. And it is a pseudo mirror. We have a Delver. They don't have a Delver. I can live with that. Hopefully the opponent slams a Delve threat that we can dismember. So we know nothing about their hand now that they've used that mana leak. Here's a Serum Visions, but there's nothing we could do or would even want to do about that at this point. I don't like countering Serum Visions that early. I've said it a bunch of times, but I think Serum Visions gets way better the later it's played. So counting an early Serum Visions isn't the same. Well, I guess they could have assumed that we were stuck on one land because we didn't shock. So maybe not shocking before the Serum Visions is what you should specifically do to try to bait them into countering the Serum Visions, especially when you have both of these still. They lost their connection, which is very unfortunate. Hopefully they'll be coming back soon. I enjoy playing against Grixis Delver and would like to get more reps in. They are back. Can we resolve this Serum Visions? Come on, opponent. I believe in you. Not really their fault that they disconnected, although it could be. Maybe they, like, disconnected their router or something, but that's pretty unlikely. Pretty unlikely. So we drew a Serum Visions for the turn, which could be considered fortunate. I believe we're going to get in there. Doesn't seem like anything bad could happen from attacking. And we may as well cast a Serum Visions, since it's the only spell we can cast. Third land is good, Tarmogoyf is good. Don't know if we want fourth land. Probably not. I think just the Goyf is right. We're going to play this island. Oh, we could either go for Mandrills or Serum Visions again. I like Serum Visions again, actually. So let's do that. I don't want to Mandrills into Mana Leak mana, and holding up Dismember is gravy. We get Goyf. Bolt and Shoal don't seem great, and we're going to end step. Hopefully Dismember pegs something good on their turn. They didn't crack their fetch land, which besides being a misclick that I often do, could indicate that they're digging for mana, which probably means a number of Snapcaster Mage in their hand. Ooh, peasy. That is okay. We could Dismember this Pyromancer, but if we do, well, I guess Goyf can go toe-to-toe with a Delve threat. But still, I don't really want to. I don't want to have to go toe-to-toe with an Angler. I'd rather just do some murdering. Now I might consider doing it because it looks like they're not inclined to have a Delve threat. Ah, yes, yes. I hate the way it makes you do that here. I just want to target the creature and have it die. So, Peasy goes down. They're left with a 1/1. Aberration falls. We draw a random card. Second Goyf. Dope. That should make it pretty easy to deal with Delve threats. We're good through the first Terminate. Even the second, thanks to this Renegade we drew off the Visions. Let's see what's in the graveyards. We have a Tarfire we could flash back if we top deck a Snapcaster. Looks like they're digging. They milled a Tasigur and a Spirebluff Canal, something Grixis seems to be running a lot of. Here's a Tasigur. That should actually be completely fine. I might even attack with this Goyf this turn. Well, at least they shrunk the graveyard for us. Makes handling the screen much easier. Them having these steam vents up. Actually, did they delve anything they would otherwise want to keep? Maybe Mana Leak, but I guess late game it's not that great. So it's entirely possible that they don't care about having this mana. They just wanted to get bad cards out of their graveyard. We draw our Delver. I believe we want to attack with the Goyf, and then follow it up with 2 more threats. They chump, that's fine. Unless they have... Oh, how can they kill us immediately? I'm trying to think of ways we could get punished for that attack. They need to deal with the first Goyf. So they Vapor Snag Goyf. Oh, but we still have Delver, worst case scenario. They Vapor Snag Goyf, attack with Tasigur, we take 4, Bolt Snap Bolt. That's how we get punished. I don't think they would have that. and them untapping means they didn't. They could still play an island and make that play. Or even just Fatal Push and then they just need any other land. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. And if I really wanted to play around Bolt Snap Bolt, I would chump with the Delver, having big goifs. So it looks like we're in a pretty good spot. Snapcaster. I'm leaning towards assuming it's going to be a Serum Visions, but maybe Forked Bolt to deal with Delver and ping us. We'll find out regardlessly. What'll it be? It's a Serum Visions. The opponent is digging for answers. Holding up black for the Prodigal Fatal Push, which I hope they don't draw, but it's not too bad if they do. Delver's going to flip off of a Denial, but we don't even get there. I don't want to see what the opponent had exiled last game, Xmage. Thanks for the courtesy, though. I like the offer. What do we like against Grixis Delver? Huntmaster of the Fells. Against Grixis, I don't think you want all 3 Blood Moons. 2 max, maybe 1. I'll have to think about it. I do like the Mountain. Don't like the Artifact. Hate Pyroclasm. We did see Young Pyromancer, so I don't hate running one. Probably not the second, because we have no idea how many Pyromancers they have. Explosive seems awful against a deck with a 1 CMC threat, a 2 CMC threat, I guess you could count Snapcaster along with Peasy as 2 CMC threats, but Snapcaster's not scary particularly. Vapor Snag seems like something I would want. Snapcaster does as well. Let's assume 1 Blood Moon until we've taken things out. Curiosity seems bad when I just want to overload with threats. Cut 1 Mana Leak on the draw. A number of Thought Scour will be leaving the deck. And I probably will have to cut Disrupting Shoal too. Just looking at the number of blue cards I'm forced to cut. Maybe we don't play Pyroclasm and we just keep all the bolts. That could be better. Or we bring in Pyroclasm to help with Delvers and Pyromancers in the face of what I imagine will be Dispel post board. Decks that can't run Stubborn Denial like Dispel a lot out of the board. I am in that camp, and I'd probably have a few if I didn't have Denials here. So I don't hate having a Sorcery as a nice little bit of help for that. Let's see how many Delver flips we have. 15, 18 creatures is a lot. 18 creatures, 18 lands, 1 enchantment. That leaves 23 cards that flip Delver, if my math's right. 1, 2, 4, 17, 17 and 6, 23. I can math. Do I want to cut a Mandrills? He's really good against push, but kind of bad against delve threats. I'd be willing to cut 1 for a Thought Scour. Yeah, that seems fine. We're gonna run that. See how it goes. Hopefully it goes well. This 7 is a keep and eerily reminiscent of our 7 from the first game. Dark Slick Delver. Dark Slick nothing. That's a misclick. Oh my lord, they didn't have a 1-drop. In that case, we're going to hold up Denial and Snare. Ah, that's what it was. If we let that happen, they could theoretically have a turn 2 Tasigur. But I really don't want to Denial a Thought Scour. So we'll let it happen anyways. Maybe I should have considered them having Thought Scour on our end step. We have a Blood Moon, so maybe I just want a basic island. We may as well shock and just play Delver. It's entirely possible this Delver just dies, but hey. We aren't planning on being very sentimental about our Delvers because they have 24 cards that flip them, which is almost shamefully low. Delver's job is to die, basically. Yeah, that's fine. Fill the graveyard for us, get bolts and things out of their hands so that Huntmaster can do its job. Yep. Our opponent is doing some nice damage to themselves, which I appreciate. That's probably getting another blue source, because I don't think Grixis wants... I imagine it'd be a Steam Vents for the double red. I don't know what Grixis needs for its mana. I just like that it's probably not something that's good against Blood Moon. So we're going to have a very difficult time dealing with that Tasigur, but we can also take at least 3 hits from it without being in danger of bolt range. The 4th hit puts us in pretty much everything range. Let's see what they delved in case there's something relevant out of their deck. Not really. Not really. They should have plenty of all of those. What did they leave? A bolt. Good choice. That's fine. Second Mandrills means I probably want to start pumping these out. We milled a Huntmaster, which is unfortunate. I'm going to play the Scalding Tarn so that we have Denial up. And Snare if that's your thing. I think we just mill or exile all of these. Seems fine. We'll get a land anyways. Pyroclasm helps with sorcery, but we already have some of that. I'm talking Traverse, of course. Do I want to just Denial that? Probably. Or maybe I want to Spell Snare it. I think I want to use the Denial in case Mandrills isn't long for this world, given that we're tapping out. Do I need more green and red, or should I just go blue to conserve life? Our life total isn't super relevant now that we've gone to 16. So I think we're going to get a breeding pool. Do that. The fact that they went for the Mana Leak suggests to me that they don't have a removal spell for the Mandrills. The reason I went with Stubborn Denial instead of Spell Snare there is if Mandrills dies, Spell Snare can hit Snapcaster Mage, or Mana Leak, or several other things. We found a forest. We will be attacking. Do I want the forest first? Probably not. I don't think there's a very good reason to play the forest here. A little bit of race. Let's Serum Visions. If we find a Goyf, we're in a pretty good position. Mana Leak. I don't want another Mana Leak. Instant land. I can get Tribal, and we might end up with Creature. But that seems a little dicey. Of course, if we pull off the Traverse, getting Delirium, then we can Traverse for Huntmaster, which seems pretty good, but also rather difficult. We have another Mandrills. Let's get rid of it. It doesn't matter which is on the bottom. We can slam a Hooting Mandrills here, which will certainly help with racing. I think we're just going to run it into counters. Whatever happens, happens. We could hold up Mana Leak, but who knows if/when that'll be good. I'm going to give them a Mana Leak if nothing else. I don't think you need a Lightning Bolt. You can have that. I think it's better to give them the Mana Leak than the Bolt. I don't really like our opponent having ample access to reach. They have a land. So I'm thinking if they attack, which they don't, okay. So now they're playing it slow. They're back on the back foot, I guess, now that we have 2 mandrills. Delver is good. I think we're going to play that and hold up counters. I believe we don't want to attack. While the late game does favor Grixis to at least a point, we can always top deck a Huntmaster, which seems pretty damn good. Of course, top decking Huntmaster means Huntmaster probably gets mana leaked, but if this Delver doesn't get answered, then this Delver will probably just take the game. And if it does get answered, that's 1 less burn spell going at our face, which I like. Our opponent goes down to 9. It's a little weird that we didn't see a Tasigur activation on their end step. Or on our end step, sorry. They could have gotten at worst a light... Well, I guess not at worst a lightning bolt, because maybe they mill over a Thought Scour. Delver of their own means we might be able to get that mana leak out of their hand. I want to do this on end step anyways to conserve mana. Us being unable to pay for mana leak the old-fashioned way means they might be casting it. I imagine I want to go for Spell Snare in that scenario. Oh, it's a Counter Squall. Okay. Which means this Tarfire won't resolve because they'll be able to mana leak, but I also want to counter this Counter Squall. We're going to use our mana leak, and then they will probably mana leak our mana leak. Oh, it's another Counter Squall. Wow. So we're going to take a good bit of damage. That's pretty good. Pretty good indeed. That's just about the worst thing we could see in that spot. I believe we want to play this for the Delver Scry. The question is, do we attack? If we do, we lose a Mandrills. They go down to 5. That seems bad. So right now they have a mana leak, and they're about to draw a mystery card because their Delver didn't flip either. Which seems fair, because ours didn't, so why should theirs? So we can either scry off of Delver with the Wooded Foothills, or we can choose to use it now and thin our deck. I think I'd rather scry. It's a Delver, which we won't reveal. The question is, do I want another Delver? And given that their only card is Mana Leak, I think I do. No attacks. So they probably want to start using Tasigur's ability. They're fetching down to 8, which is relevant if these flip off of, say, a Tarfire. I'm just checking Exile to see how many burn spells we've seen. I believe it's just the Tarfire. I'm almost certainly giving them a Counter Squall. Oh, Leyline of the Void. Turns off Traverse, but that seems fine. At worst, now we know they board in Leyline. So they have a Mana Leak and a Leyline of the Void in hand. Delver reveals a Serum Visions, which is really good for them. We are dead in 2 turns. I believe we're going to get aggressive on our next one. Here's the Serum Visions. They draw Scry 2, Leyline, Mana Leak, Mystery Card. They're going to knock us down to 3. If Mystery Card is Bolt, we're just dead. If it's something like a Kolaghan's Command, we're still probably dead to the Foothills. Now the question is, if they attack, well, I guess we should let them go to end step first to see how to plan this out. I'm trying to figure out if I need both of these Delvers to flip to win, which I probably do if Tasigur blocks one of these. I believe they just attack with the they don't attack. Okay, so do I want to go to 5? If one of these flips, because one will probably flip if we don't crack the foothills, but it's less likely for both to flip because we haven't thinned our deck before the first one. The second one gets less likely if we do thin now. So anyways, if we attack with both, one gets blocked, they go to 4, one of these gets blocked. That doesn't seem great if I just go for flipping 1. So I think I want both to flip, but we don't need to kill them yet. So we'll try to get at least 1 to flip to make their life difficult. I think I'd rather have a good chance of flipping 1. Renegade doesn't seem great because I don't think they're going to do much attacking. We also probably don't need more blue mana, so I'm just going to get a mountain in case that's relevant. If I have a 2 mana spell, we play around Mana Leak. So if we draw something like a Goyf, having access to the mana is good. Not shocking, also good. Second Delver sees... That was a sad excuse for a drum roll. It's a Huntmaster, which will be Mana Leaked. But then we Spell Snare the Mana Leak. They have Leyline and Mystery Card. I say we go for it. If Mystery Card is Counter Squall, Bolt, or Kolaghan's Command, we die. They make us discard a card. So they do that. We discard a card and I believe we get shocked. So happens, we discard Spell Snare. We're now at 3. They have Mana Leak and Leyline. We attack with everything. They block here. They block here. They go to 6. We die. Well, no, they block here. They block here. They go to 3. I think we want to attack anyways, just to give them the chance to screw up. But I don't want to show them the Huntmaster if it won't be resolving. Have we milled a Huntmaster? Do they know it's in the deck? We haven't. Yes, we have. They have seen Huntmaster of the Fells. So it's not super bad to show them this one. But given that they have a Mana Leak in hand, it won't resolve anyways. So I don't think we want them to know that we have 2... What are they doing? They can't do that. I was going to say, if they tap out, I will be ecstatic because I will have a Huntmaster on board. But anyways... I do believe we have to attack with everything here, because if we attack with just 1 Mandrills and the 2 Delvers so that we can block, we don't threaten lethal. As is, they blocked correctly. They go to 3. We don't have Bolt. If we had Bolt, we would Bolt them. They Mana Leak. We pay 3. We win. Unfortunately, this is not that universe, so we're going to go end step. We could Bolt Delver through a Mana Leak, so I guess we don't necessarily concede immediately, but we are pretty dead. Yep, that's fine. Here we are, about to head into Game 3. I think that was a pretty good match. Let's see. Them having that Kolaghan's Command was mighty unfortunate because it simultaneously made Huntmaster bad and gave them lethal. Probably the single best card they could have as the mystery card. So on the play, does Mana Leak get a little better? Excuse me. Hooting Mandrills theoretically could come in, but I don't think I want the 4th. Revelry. Revelry hits Leyline, but that doesn't seem super relevant. Although we do have 2 Snapcasters and 2 Traverse that are nigh on useless without the graveyard, as well as 3 Mandrills which take a while to get going without it. So maybe we do want Revelry. It just seems bad trying to go for that. Do I want Pyroclasm? I probably want it less on the play than I do on the draw, because it's less likely for them to go Delver into Pyromancer and then me to go on turn 2 Pyroclasm. That seems like one of the best spots for Pyroclasm. So what do we want boarded in? It might be just a Thought Scour. Maybe it's the Revelry just in case, but I don't really want to do that. I think I'd rather go with Thought Scour. We're going to run it, see how it goes. Game 3, on the play. Keepable hand, Blood Moon mana, turn 2 Mandrills. If they don't keep and then go Leyline, they didn't. So, turn 2 Mandrills. With Vapor Snag up. Excuse me. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. That's fine. We're going to see what the opponent is up to. Even if they Serum Visions, I don't think we're Thought Scouring them. There's the Serum Visions. That can resolve. I'm not interested. I would rather mill myself and get a Mandrills down. It's a little unfortunate that we're going to show them Blood Moon mana immediately. That is, unless we draw another fetch land. Or, I guess, just Stomping Ground, but it's probably the fetch land we want to see. Island Mountain. Well, it's a good thing they don't run Ghost Quarter. Ooh, Blood Moon. So I think we want to go Forest, Visions. We definitely want the Forest because Blood Moon. I believe I would rather cast Serum Visions than hold up Vapor Snag. We should select first so we don't risk screwing that up. I don't think typing while resolving search effects usually goes well on Xmage, although I think you can get back into it. I don't really want the 4th land. I would love to have a Dismember. Let's cast a Mandrills. And we even have a little bit of fuel left over for the next guy. So considerate of our Mandrills not delving the entire graveyard. What a good guy. Now, that game just now was close. This game could end in a very rough scenario for our opponent, as we might be slamming Blood Moon. Which would probably hurt. Basic Swamp is pretty good. Thoughtseize probably takes the Blood Moon. Although it's going to cost them a good deal of tempo. That is the only Blood Moon in our deck currently, so we can safely ignore it for the rest of the game. Our opponent doesn't know that. Information is powerful. They will probably be playing around top deck Blood Moons. Thoughtseize knocks the opponent down to 15. Ooh, they have a Thought Scour. That's pretty good. I look forward to Vapor Snagging any threat that they play. Or I guess I could also just Dismember since we're going to have that soon. Blood Moon makes Goyf and Traverse pretty good. We'll Shock here. We may as well attack before we play the Delver. And then we'll hold up Vapor Snag and Dismember. We could even cast both if that comes up. Seems unlikely, but hey, why not? Go to end step. This is looking like the tempo player's game. I don't think Grixis runs Damnation. I'm just considering ways they can blow us out. Not doing anything to affect the board in the first 2 turns really can hurt on the draw. Collective Brutality, not bad. Kill Delver. Take whichever removal spell you think is our best one. Possibly gain 2 life, deal 2 damage. Depends how many cards they want to pitch. As a graveyard deck, I would imagine a lot. Collective Brutality is such a good card. I'm going to preemptively extend this window because I'm expecting some discard. One. Do we have a second? We do have a second. All three modes targeting Hooting Mandrills. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that happens. They have a lightning bolt, which is fine because we have a second Mandrills. At least I think it's fine. If they go bolt Mandrills and then we play the next one and they have a terminate, I will be sad. Yep. Happens. Collective Brutality is such a good tempo card. 2 mana, kill a guy, gain some life, take a card out of their hand. It's very good. I like it a lot. Do I want to play that land? I might. What's our graveyard look like? I want Traverse to be live. So we have Creature Instant Enchantment. I might legit fetch and just pay a lot of mana. I lose out on Delver Scry by fetching now, but it makes Traverse the Ulvenwald better, as opposed to getting rid of the Dismember and the Serum Visions, which I might do anyways. No, I would have to delve 3 things, which is a little unfortunate, so let's use this. I'm no longer interested in playing around our Blood Moons, but I would very much like to not shock and take a bunch of damage. We don't have any basics left, so I guess we're going to shock and take some damage. It's going to be a stomping ground in case we end up with Bolt Snap Bolt, and we can delve away the creature, and I believe it's the instant that should go. Even though that makes Snapcaster Mage worse, it makes Traverse significantly better. So I think that is the right play. Instead of hoping we can get Snap Dismember off, top deck Traverse into Tarmogoyf, another Mandrills. Delver gets pushed off a cliff, or I guess this is a ship. Yes, it is. Delver gets pushed off of a skyship. Ooh, the opponent has nothing else. That fetch land is a lot less relevant. Thinning the deck. I don't think I want to play it to thin the deck, because if I draw a Traverse, I can fetch out another land so we can Traverse Huntmaster. Of course, then we lose some extra life. We'll play it. I don't think I'm super worried about Kolagon's command making me discard my Vapor Snag. Although they know I have Vapor Snag, so maybe I want that as a bluff. I think keeping our life total relatively high is a good idea while having access to Traverse into Huntmaster, because I don't want to lose the game before I'm able to top deck my way out of a bad situation, assuming this Mandrills dies or they slam a Delve threat and counter our Snag. This has been a nice long match. I love these ones. So interactive. Plenty of back and forth for both players. Is this... which of these is Exile? This is Collective Brutality. Do I fetch? I think so. The reason I played that was to get 5 mana without going below 10. So, 3rd red or 3rd green. It's going to be 3rd green. No need to shock. We'll untap. That one we won't play. It's very important to note, if they take 4 off of Mandrills and then fetch, Vapor Snag becomes lethal. I believe it's going to be Snap Bolt. So let's proceed very slowly. How best can we do this? I believe I want to Vapor Snag the Snapcaster Mage. possibly post blocks because of trample. They shouldn't have done that yet. I believe that's somewhat of a misplay. I'm going to go for it. Bounce that. If they had a delve threat that I would rather Vapor Snag, it probably hit the board a long time ago. So we're going to do that. Now their Lightning Bolt is wasted. You should always wait for the damage to happen before using the flashback to Lightning Bolt. They go down to 1. They can't fetch. Well, they could fetch. You are legally allowed to pay costs that you can pay. They just can't fetch without losing the game. Which is good because it turns off a lot of lands for them, just in case they needed that 4th bit of mana. I also don't think that you... going out on your own terms, I like it. I don't think you hold the Vapor Snag in case they end up playing a Delve threat, because the graveyard is juicy enough at that point that they can play their threat, I bounce it, then they play it again without much of a problem. We just slow them down a turn. And if we don't Vapor Snag the Snapcaster Mage, Hooting Mandrills dies. And that gives them a lot of time. Having 6 life can be a lot of time against someone who has no action in their hand or on the board. And I think in that spot you just want them dead as soon as possible. So I think we made some pretty good plays that game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.